Today guys, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to tame one of the best PvP dinosaurs in all of Ark, and that is the Managarmr right here. Right, it's actually super simple to tame these guys. People make it such a big deal to tame them, but it's really easy when you know how to, especially with the net guns, okay? Next, on top of that, I'm going to also be teaching you how to use the Managarmr. I'm going to teach you how to PvP with the Managarmr, and as far as what to level, and a bunch of super secret tips that a lot of people don't know what the Managarmr is, that way you can be absolutely lethal with the mana. The mana is like top of the line PvP tame, but in order to be effective with them, you really have to know how to use them, and I'm going to show you all of that in this video, okay? So getting started with actually taming the mana, you're going to need a couple of things. The first thing that you're going to need is a long neck rifle, okay? And then you're going to need 45 tranquilizing darts. Dedex is 36. I'd bring about 10 extra, which is 45, just to make sure that you knock this guy out in case you miss. Next, you're going to need a harpoon launcher, okay? And then 3 net projectiles in case you miss the first one, right? The other 2 are just backup. And then for the trap, all you're going to need is 2 stone dinosaur gateways, and then 6 exceptional kibble. I know that says 9, but you're going to need 6, okay? So that's pretty much all you need. And now the foods that if you don't want to use exceptional kibble, you don't have to. I'd probably recommend mutton to tame this guy. But the foods that you would use to tame this guy in order from most effective to least effective is going to start with exceptional kibble, raw mutton, raw prime meat, and raw meat. That's pretty much all you're going to use. And the times for those, exceptional kibble is going to take 22 minutes and 44 seconds. Raw mutton is going to take 26 minutes and 40 seconds. Raw prime meat is going to take 33 minutes and 20 seconds. And raw meat is going to take an hour and 35 minutes and 32 seconds. So for this guy, I'd probably just use raw mutton. You know, that's, 2 minutes longer, and you only lose half a percentile in taming effectiveness. I mean, if you have kibble, obviously use it, but mutton's great. Okay, next thing to note is that these guys have a long torpor time. It doesn't drain. It drains really slow. It takes these guys an hour and 35 minutes to wake up. Or no, my bad. It takes 2 hours and 8 minutes to wake up for taming these guys. So no matter what you're taming this guy with, then you don't need any narcotics, which is super sweet, right? So now let's get into actually how you tame this guy. So despite the controversies, it's very easy. All you're gonna do is just net projectile him and then put your stone dinosaur gateways on top of him. So let me spawn this guy in real quick, and he's gonna take off like that, but just let him come, attack you. You want to make sure you're wearing flak as well, right, for this, and just kind of get him following you. Boom, he's down. All right, now you just take your dinosaur gateways. Oh, I just built an extra one. Get one behind there, and then get one right here above the legs. One behind his head, and one above the legs, and then you're pretty much good. And then all you start doing is just start shooting this guy, right? The reason why you have to net this guy, or the reason why you have to place these dinosaur gateways is because the net will wear off before you'll be able to knock them out, especially for a 150. So that's why you have to place the dinosaur gateways. If you're on a server as well that you can't use nets, you can also spam, right? Let's say you can just hop on a dinosaur, and if you're playing on a server that bans nets, you probably have infinite weight as well. So in that case, then you're just going to take a bunch of dinosaur gates. I'd bring like 20, and when he attacks you, just spam him down on top of you. And about most of the time, it'll work, right? And he's going to do just like jump and stuff. And yeah, you're going to miss quite a bit, but I'm going to knock this guy out real quick, and I'll be right back with you when he's actually tamed. Alright, perfect. Your Managarmr is down. So once he is down, all you need to do is just throw your food of choice into him and then wait the allotted time. In this case, I'm using exceptional kibble, right? And one more thing I want to mention. Oh, wow. I'm on 6 seconds, not an inch to tame, so that was very quick. Alright, perfect. We'll just get right into the next portion of the video. Right, one thing I want to mention as well is since you're in the snow biome, make sure you bring something to kill, like a shotgun or like another animal that can kill, like a wyvern or something, when you go to tame this guy, to protect the tame, as well as just to get the tame going, because a lot of time he'll be attacking stuff. So now that you've tamed your mana, you might be wondering, what are some good stats for your mana, and what do I level, right? If you're not, okay, I'll help you out. So first things first, there's 3 stats that are important on your mana. It's going to be health, stamina, and melee. For health, okay health is about like 6,500 or 6,000. Good health is about 7,500, and then like great health is about 9k. For stamina, like okay stamina, you're looking at 1250. Good stamina, you're looking at 1500, and then great stamina, you're looking at 1800. Okay, and then for melee damage, you're looking about 250 is okay, 300 is pretty good, and then 350 is great. So considering that this guy has 435 melee damage, this guy is a beast, absolute beast, right? But you can tell most of the points went into melee damage because his health, atrocious. His stamina is god-awful, right? So he doesn't really have much else going for him besides the health. I mean, besides the melee damage. Okay, now as far as kind of like what you want to level on your Managarmr, there's really only two things that you want to level on your Managarmr, and that's going to be stamina and melee damage, okay? Now, if you're leveling stamina, I would pretty much go to, no matter what build you're using, even if you're using a melee damage mana, then you're going to need at least 2,500 stam flat out. Like, at the very least, maybe even 3, okay? And then I'd put the rest into melee if you're on melee. Or you can go pretty much in all stamina mana if you're just trying to freeze people, but what's the fun in that? But that's also good. Like, if you're just trying to, like, help and, like, assist in battles, you can go all stam or try never to get caught. Okay, and generally, I wouldn't put levels into health, maybe like 5 or 3, not a lot. And if you're getting manas that have high health, like 10,000, and if you're gonna put any points in health, never put above like 10,000 health. You know, at 10k health on a mana, that's like more than enough, right? So that's pretty much all you need to know for the leveling. Okay, now let's get into actually how you use the mana. Alright, so once you've got your mana leveled, the next thing you need to master is movement, okay? And we're going to start with the basic controls with the mana, okay? The very first thing you have with your mana on the ground is your left click attack, okay? Which is just your standard base attack, which does, you know, a pretty, like, not a lot of damage, but it does a solid amount, okay? Next, if you hit crouch as well, it also does the exact same thing as the left click attack on this. And then the next attack you have is your right click attack, which I'm currently doing now. Right, and this is super interesting, and this is called the mana beam, okay? The mana beam is very awesome for a bunch of reasons, okay? The reason why, and the most important one, is because it frees things. Right, look at that. It's completely stuck, frozen in place. Just completely frozen, right? Can't even move, which is awesome, okay? There's a couple things to know about the mana beam, okay? The number one is it has huge range fall off, okay? What I mean by that is the damage that I'm doing from here is very little, but if I come right here, it turns into a lot of damage, right? This is actually like, yeah, that's right. So now let me just beam this Carby from all the way over here, and I'm doing 0 damage to this guy, and you'll do like, and this will work like in PvP as well. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you really bad damage fall off the mana has. Okay, now the next tip that I have with you is, whenever you're using the mana beam, you always want to make sure you're beaming in first person, okay? The reason why is because your beam will actually go further in first person than it would in third, okay? So for instance, I'm going to beam this turtle right here in first person. I'm going to zoom out. I'm not hitting him anymore. You see that? That is crazy. And alright, and no cap though, the dillos are kind of a counter to the mana because you can't really go too far if you get dilloed, which is just kind of funny. But the next tip that I have for you guys is, if you are on the mana and your stamina's gone, right, instead of waiting for your stamina to come back on your mana, hop off your mana, because it'll take about like 6 to 8 seconds to regain stamina, like from empty on top of your mana, but it only takes about 2 to 3 if you hop off your mana. It regains stamina much faster. Why? I don't know. Okay, so that's pretty much it with the beam and the basic controls. No. We got more basic controls we can go over, okay? The next is your jump, right? You have the standard jump that you have, right, with your mana, okay? And with this jump, you can also double jump and triple jump, right? You get 3 jumps. And then on top of that, if you left click, you get a dash, right? You get 1 dash per, like, off the ground that you are, right? You can also mix these up, so you can jump, dash, jump, and jump, right? So you can kind of mix them up. But if I click left click again, I can't actually dash to the ground, okay? Now, the next basic control that the mana has is, if you jump and click A or D, he'll do like a little side strafe, or W as well. Like, you can dash forward, but you cannot dash completely backwards. Like, if I click S, I can't dash backwards, right? So that's pretty much it for the basic controls. You can also fly in the air as well as you are, you know, beaming, so you can beam in the air, which is cool. Now let's start getting into the advanced controls, right? This is the stuff that really nobody talks about, but is super crucial if you want to be a good mana player, okay? Number one is how to infinitely fly, or how to reach skyboarder, okay? The way you do this is if you jump twice, and on the second jump you right click and throw your beam, you'll get super high. Look at this. Look at this. I'm almost at skyboarder. Right? If you do it perfect, you can skyboarder. I didn't time it perfect, but I was nearly close. Right? And then I'll just dash to the bottom. So you really, really need to learn how to do that. And that's called breath boosting, or breath jumping. Right? You jump again, and beam at the same time. Right? And you'll just start flying. Absolutely gone in seconds. Right? And this is how you can catch wyverns in the sky, PTs, whatever. Right? So let's head back down. And now let's show you the next trick. Okay? So I'm gonna hop off my mana to regain stam much faster because I'm not trying to waste your time, right? And boom, here we go, back up in 2 seconds. Okay, so the next trick is on the same principles with the breath. If you jump and breathe and then you click A or D, he'll start flying in the air permanently like this, right? You'll also notice that there's no beam coming out. This is a bug in the game. Sometimes it'll come out, sometimes it won't. You'll hear the beam noise, but there's no beam coming out. You cannot deal damage. The way to fix this is if you go in first person, it fixes the beam. Now I can go out of third person, and then this is a real beam that can actually start like doing damage. Okay, so let's come over here, and I wish I had something big to kind of show you on. All right, perfect. So here's a big dinosaur right here, a Giga, and now I'm going to show you how to actually like float and attack this Giga, right, using that technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump, right click, dash to the side to the left, right? Go in first person because it's bugged, and that should fix it. Plus you get better range, and now I can actually start hitting the Giga, right? Now if I come over here, and then boom, just start beaming them, okay? And if you go too far like this, look to the side, hit A or D, and then that'll kind of dash you back. Just know every time you do like a little side shuffle like that, it does use a lot of stamina. Boom, like a nice little hit. But you could really just sit here and beam stuff from the sky infinitely, just above people. And that's like really crucial to know, like if you are really wanting to PvP with this guy, okay? The next thing to know about the mana beam, okay, is the beam also, you can beam players, like right off the back of their tames. Like most teams, like when you attack, like normally it'll just like hit the tame and you can't actually hit the player. Not the mana beam. The mana beam, you can actually beam players right off the back of the tame, which is crazy. Next, let's talk about traversal, right? The fastest way to traverse the map on these guys is to jump, dash, and that's pretty much it. Either sometimes double dash, double jump if you want, and that's really like the quick way to get it around the map with these guys. That's really all you can do. The next is kind of PvP. So now let's get into like the PvP topic and really how to PvP with this guy. So the mana pretty much shits on everything for the most part, besides, you know, I mean, pretty much everything. The only thing that you can really counter the mana is Z and plant Z and Y. But as far as tames go, if you're a good mana player, right, you will be able to crush people, okay? This is the hard counter to Bloodstalkers, not on the water, okay? You do not fight Bloodstalkers on the water with the mana. Okay, the reason why is because the Bloodstalker can pick you super easy if it's sitting in the water, and you can't, and you're like, and he'll just kind of play at a safe range, so you can't really deal much damage. Oh shit, oh shit. Alright. Next, for foot PvP, right, the best way to kill somebody is like, just beam them, right, and run up to them as close as you can in first person, and just beam them, right? That's the best way to actually kill somebody with the mana, right? But you really have to be careful when you do that, and be cognizant if they have plant Z, because they can throw plant Z off before you can get a full beam in to where they're frozen, and if you could freeze them, you'll pretty much kill them. But just be cognizant that they have plant Z and that they'll kill you, okay? Next, if you're also on a mana and you're facing another mana, right, most of the time you're going to be like freezing each other, you know, on the ground, like trying to freeze each other, right? Whoever gets freeze first pretty much will lose that fight. And what that comes down to, like, is who really gets the first hit on the freeze. And, like, whoever like starts hitting the other person first will win the freeze fight. If you are about to win a freeze fight, or if you're about to lose a freeze fight, if you have plant Z, what you could do is you could hop off and Z before you get freezed. I wish I kind of had it here. Also, a lot of people like to do that as well. So like if you're freezing somebody and you know you're about to win this freeze fight, be very like aware to see if they'll hop off, if they'll Z you, because that's an insta loss, and you definitely don't want that to happen. But that's pretty much it. Just kind of, you know, use your movement mechanics that you have learned, right, to just freeze people to death, and that, you know, just keep them frozen for a long time, and just keep freezing them and keep beaming them, right? That's how you win your fights as a mana. And just make sure you don't get Z'd or don't get picked by a Wyvern or a PT, right? And you're pretty much good to go, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe, because that means the absolute world to me. I'm trying to reach 300 subs, and I'm super close. I'm only like 2 away, so definitely would appreciate any sub that comes my way. But yeah, may God bless you all, and peace out.